Hey guys, welcome back. So today I am decluttering out the expired bronzers. This probably won't be as hard as I think it's going to be. It's just going to be hard to part with some of these, I think. So let's start with the OG guy. This is the Wet n Wild contouring palette in Dulce de Leche. I really loved this, not necessarily for the contour shade. I actually loved it for the highlight shade. There's actually, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a big divot right here in the middle. Because I used to use this to set my under eye like all the time. But I just don't reach for this. It's only good for probably like 2 years at max, and I've had this for about 6. Yeah, somewhere around 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss this. I just don't trust that that's okay anymore. The Essence Matte Bronzing Powder in Natural. I'm just not a big fan of this. I've tried it a couple of times. It smells amazing. It smells honestly like the butter bronzer, but I just don't like the shade of this on me. It's almost too neutral to be a contour or a bronzer, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. The Becca Sunlit Bronzer in Bali Sands looks like this. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this just to remember, because I use this occasionally, but to be honest, it's not usually the one that I reach for. Yeah, and how long is this good for? This is good for 2 years, and I think I've had it about 2 years. I'm gonna check my purchase history at the end and then decide if I'm gonna keep or get rid of it, so it's in the maybe. The this is broken. The Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is good for, I don't even know how long. It kind of concerns me how many brands don't keep that marker on here. They just put it on the outside box. Is it on the underside of this? No. This one's in the shade Light Bronzer. And this still feels amazing. Still swatches really nicely, so I'm gonna hold on to this, but I'm gonna Google what the expiration is on those because I might just have to purchase a new one. The Fenty Beauty, this is brand new to my collection, in the Sunstalker Bronzer. I'm still testing this out. I've got some mixed feelings, but I definitely want to keep trying it out. It's a little bit cooler tone than I would like in a bronzer. See, comparing that to the butter bronzer, it's a little bit cooler, but I still kind of like it. If I tanned, this would be like a great tan bronzer shade, but the problem is I just don't tan. The Hourglass, I'm not getting rid of this guy. Yeah, he's still good. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Nude Bronze Light. I love this. This is one of my favorite bronzers in here. It is just such a beautiful, I mean, look at that. I love the iridescent, for lack of a better word, bronzers. I just think that they are stunning on everyone, and they don't have the best range of bronzer shades, I will be honest about that, but I really love that bronzer. Ooh, this is another one that I love, the Bare Minerals Bronzer. This is, the Bare Minerals Bronzer, Invisible Bronzer in Fair to Light. This is one of my favorite ones that I use. This feels good. Still swatches good. This is good for, I've had this for about 9 months. This is good for a year, so I'll keep it. Which one next? Which one next? Let's do the Anastasia one. This is the Anastasia Bronzer in Rosewood, which I never use this. I don't know why. I feel like maybe it was because it was just too, yeah, it's just too dark on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Probably donate it. The Lorac one, I always forget about this because I really like this bronzer. This is the Tantalizer Buildable Bronzing Powder in Pool Party. I actually, like I said, I do like this one. I just never get around to using it, but I actually kind of like the weird tone of it. It's kind of a lighter, neutral bronze, so I'm gonna hold on to this. See, here's the nice part about decluttering your makeup collection if you're someone like me who has a lot of makeup, or you just have a lot of different items in your makeup collection. It's good to declutter because it gives you a chance to see what you've got. These Wet n Wild bronzers are newer to the collection, so they're both going to stay because I'm still kind of testing them out. We have Palm Beach Ready, which is the lighter one of the two and a little bit more shimmery. And then we have Sunset Striptease. This is definitely the darkest I could go in these bronzers. There are darker shades than this, which is good. But I'm going to hold on to both of these since they're new. The Ciate Bamboo Bronzer in Palm Island. I've had this for so long. It still feels good. It still swatches nice. I'm going to put it on the fence and check when I purchased it. The Milani Baked Bronzer in Dolce. I love this. And this is such a great... I was so happy to find out that they had a light shade. I used to be using the shade, I think it was Glow maybe, and it just turned out to be not the right color for me. This is good for 2 years, and I've had it for about a year, so I'm keeping that. Ooh, this guy. This guy probably has to go. I have no idea how long this is good for, but I've had this for about 4 or 5 years now. I don't know if they still make this. I feel like I need to Google and see if this is still made. If it is, I'll declutter this because maybe I'll repurchase it. But yeah, it definitely does not feel good. It still swatches really nice, but knowing how long I've had this, it's probably just not safe for my skin anymore. This is the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in 15i. So the light shade for iridescent. I love this bronzer. This was my first high-end bronzer I ever purchased on my own. And it's really, really nice. And they've got both matte and iridescent formulas. I tend to go towards, as you can see, I tend to go towards the shimmery bronzers are the ones I like. But I'm going to go ahead and throw him out because he's well past expired. The IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Bronzer in Beach, which I've used once. I haven't really had a chance to thoroughly test it out. So I think, yeah, I still want to keep on testing that. The Too Faced Sweethearts Bronzer in Sweet Tea. This is so old. This is good for 18 months. I think I've had this for about 3 years now. Yeah, it's feeling a little bit grainy. Still looks amazing though, but knowing how long I've had it, I'm going to go ahead and part with it. I'm sorry, Sweet Tea. If that's available, I might purchase another one because I really do love that bronzer. Then we have the Balm Cosmetics Bahama Mama. This is definitely the darkest bronzer I own. And I hold on to it because I could have, again, there's some things that I hold on to for videos that I know I want to do. It's not quite as dark as it looks in the pan, but I really like this, so I'm gonna keep it. Then I have 2 of the NARS Sun Diffused Bronzers. I have the shade Laguna, which I'll definitely be keeping. I love these a lot, actually. They're really nice. If you're scared of bronzer for any reason, I would take a look at these because they're very easy to build and simple to use. These are still good in terms of expiration. And then I also have the shade Seaside, which this is the lighter one. So since I'm fairer, this is kind of the one that I use in the winter. But this one's still good too, so I'm keeping both of those. So all in all, that was pretty painless, actually. That was probably the fastest one of these that I've done. Now my arm looks like I've swatched it with a whole bunch of mud. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead, and you guys will recognize this drawer from my blush declutter. The back 2 sections here and here are my bronzer sections. So actually what I'm going to do is turn this around. Okay, so the bronzers go here and here. One section is high-end, one section is drugstore. I definitely have more high-end than low-end bronzers. So I'm going to go ahead and start placing the high-ends first. And actually, I've decided to get rid of the Becca bronzer, and I'm going to keep the Ciate. I have so many higher-end bronzers. It's kind of mind-blowing. You forget how much stuff you kind of already have until you see it all like laid out in front of you like this. So there's that side, and then the bronzers. Now don't you worry, I have a lot of bronzers in my to be tested drawer, So, and eventually those will make their way into here once I decide if they're worthy of being kept. But I literally have, I think, 5 or 6 bronzers in that drawer. So there should be more joining, especially the drugstore pile, in the near future. But that is it for this one. So I ended up getting rid of 6 out of 19, which leaves me at about 32%. So that's pretty good considering how few bronzers there were. I wasn't expecting to get rid of that many of them. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead, put this drawer back, and if you guys haven't already, be sure to check out the Declutter playlist, which will be linked up here in this corner right now for you guys to go check it out, see the other ones I've been doing on this expired makeup declutter. This is not just decluttering because I have too much stuff. This is, well, I mean, yes, it is, but it's also decluttering because a lot of the stuff is expired. And when you do beauty here on YouTube or any kind of social media outlet, there is so much stuff that you buy and you use and you never declutter. So that's why I try and do it regularly, but it's been a while since I did one for expirations. So that's why I'm doing this series. But yeah, that's it. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!